Well, might as well start with Steph, like their official or finished report.
Steph?
Yeah.
He's out.
I mean, is there anything more? Sorry, with the
Concussion. He's still in the concussion protocol, so he's not going to make it back.
Do you have any sense of how far off he is?
He'll be ready for the following game.
Okay.
That's my personal belief. Doctors would have to double check.
Sure. But it's at least within the realm of possibility.
Yes.
And then Raul is out to the side with a knock, or is this the
Apparently he's got a couple of issues with his knees. So.
His knees? Both knees?
Yeah. We're getting to the bottom.
Looking at this Columbus team, obviously missing 5 guys, but what have you seen on tape that they'll still be able to do even without them?
Well, I don't think they're going to change their personality. They're still going to be a possession-based team, counter-pressing. They'll be missing guys. We'll be missing some guys, so we'll see.
And specifically on that, how do you make up for the losses of Obed and New not having them this week?
And we've got plenty of talented players that are going to step in and be excited to play and give good energy. So I'm confident the team can perform well.
One of those guys, Josh Dempsey, who obviously had time with the Olympics, has he had an extra pep in his step since getting back from Paris?
That's kind of worn away. I think that's a little bit of ancient history. Yeah, it was a great experience for Josh, but did it help him come back into the team? Not so sure. Look, against Portland, he hadn't started in a while, so expectations, what were they? Did he manage those expectations? Yeah, but he'll play a part in the game.
Well, as far as kind of like putting away last week, do you feel at all that you're kind of teetering on a must-win type of situation this weekend?
No. We still have enough games in the year. We got 4 home games. It's not quite must-win yet.
Just as far as like even the team,
Good performance. We need to have a good performance up to our standard, sure.
When a team is missing as many players as the crew are missing, do you have to do anything to sort of push back on the idea that that somehow they're a weakened team?
No. That group in there, our starting group, is totally focused on the job at hand, which is get something positive out of the game.
The offense had some struggles last week. What is it that maybe you've been working on this week to just be better at Columbus?
Well, we've worked on all sorts of things this week, how to defend them, how to attack them. The last exercise we just did was all about scoring goals from set pieces, different angles. So team's in a good way. I think we can score some goals.
Pedro La Vega getting obviously used to more minutes and things. How is he coming along?
He's got to get his fitness level up, but we're working on that.
We met Georgie yesterday, and he has quite a personality. Seems like a very positive guy. What does bringing someone like that into the team sort of do for the group, both on the field and off the field?
It helps because everybody likes Georgie. They like Georgie for a lot of reasons. He's a nice kid, respectful, but he works. Always got a smile on his face. He's definitely got a character. He's overcome a ton of adversity, from growing up to losing his sight in one of his eyes and stuff like that, and he keeps coming back with a positive attitude. I mean, people should use that as an example.
You guys have known his quality for a while. Was there much thought in trying to bring him in earlier than you did?
Well, there was some thought, but we were trying to, see what would transpire in the transfer window, and we always knew we had Georgie in our back pocket. He's an exciting player and certainly worthy of consideration for playing time. But he's still got to work on some parts of his game. His final product, even at the Defiance level, hasn't been, statistically great. So he's got to work on a couple things, but certainly entertaining, exciting to watch, and he's going to get some minutes.
Brian, the sense of tragedy yesterday in Georgia is a reminder of the society that we live in, where kids go to school and get shot. What kind of conversations are your players having, and how do you reassure some of the foreign players that come here that when their kids go to school, they are in a position where we try to take care of kids?
What happened in Georgia and what happened in various parts of our country is very sad. We have not addressed that specifically as a group. We've done it in the past with other major events, certainly political, not political, stuff like this, tragedies. We've done that before. Will it come up? Will it crop up in some of the conversations amongst the players? I'm sure it will. I believe that Washington, Seattle is a pretty safe community, although every day you can open up the paper or open up your phone and see violence, many different parts of the city. So it's a tough, really tough situation. And, some sort of reasonable gun control certainly should be talked about.
In terms of Raul, that has nothing to do with his plan not to return or the conversations about him not coming back to the Sounders, not wanting to renew his contract.
Well, I happened to look at the article. I'll read it in a little bit more depth, but I love Raul. I think Raul's great. Every time we have conversations, they've been good. They haven't been easy sometimes, and there's been multiple conversations this year, some good, some not so good. But Raul is our all-time leading goal scorer. Certainly I'll, check in with him. If that's his decision, then he's certainly free to make that decision. Nico and I had similar conversations last year. It's never easy as players kind of get to the end of their careers, and sometimes how players handle retirement is different. It's different with each individual. So we certainly respect Raul for everything that he's done. I respect Raul, but I think I have a good relationship with him. I think a lot of the guys in that locker room like Raul.
I know they're starting things like that are tough decisions that you have to make, but on the other side, on his side, do you think that played a role or anything like that in his decisions? Or
You mean not playing?
Yeah.
You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty inflammatory article, the stuff I read, so we'll have to, get together and I'll talk to Raul and I'll see where he lands, and, I hope that if he does go, it's on good terms.
Going back to Columbus, what's your main communication, but impressions from afar been of Wilfred Nancy, and what makes him such a good coach?
Well, he's got a good team, very good team. Actually, he came in Montreal a couple seasons ago, and I think they beat us 2-1, 2-0. Good performance. I complimented him then. Seems to have a good way, just kind of a little quieter, but gets his teams ready to play. The style of play, he allows a little bit more freedom, a little bit more creativity. That's not systems based. He lets guys flow. It's worked for him.
Just to be clear, when you say inflammatory, do you take offense to anything?
No. Like I said, I like Raul. I think Raul and I have a very good relationship. Yeah.
Any other questions for Coach Schmetzer?
Okay. Thanks, everybody.